When evening settles across the northern forests of Canada, it does not arrive abruptly. It drifts in softly, like a quiet breath moving through tall branches. Light fades not in sharp strokes, but in gentle smudges, gold softening into amber, amber dimming into blue, and blue easing into the tender shade of approaching night. And within this slow descent, the maple tree begins to glow with a subtle calmness, as if dusk has chosen it as a place to rest. The maple stands with a stillness that feels almost comforting. Its leaves, broad, balanced, shaped by the patience of seasons, tilt slightly toward the last threads of daylight, catching them like warm embers between soft fingertips. There is no hurry here, no rush in the way the tree meets the coming night. Instead, it simply receives the darkness the way a lake receives falling leaves, gently, quietly, without resistance. Every forest holds a kind of wisdom that is only heard when the world slows down. But the maple, steady and symmetrical, seems to carry a wisdom shaped by stillness itself. Its roots sink deeply into the cool earth. Its branches stretch in wide, reassuring arcs. And its leaves, each one unique, yet deeply familiar, create a soft canopy that invites the mind to loosen, the breath to lengthen, and the heart to rest. Tonight, we drift into this world. Welcome to sleepy nature sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. Before we wander deeper into the maple story, let your own body settle with the forest. Feel the weight of the day begin to soften. Let your shoulders find ease, and let your mind drift the way a single leaf might drift through the cool air of autumn dusk. If these gentle journeys bring you rest or offer you a place to unwind when the world feels heavy, you're always welcome to return through a like, a quiet comment, or simply by letting these soft stories accompany you whenever you need calm. And if you choose to support this little corner of peaceful nature storytelling, know that your kindness helps these forests grow a little quieter, a little softer, and a little wider for anyone seeking rest. Tonight, we follow the story of a leaf, one that has come to symbolize an entire land. A leaf chosen not for power or drama, but for symmetry, serenity, and the gentle strength of a tree that has watched seasons turn for centuries. Let the night ease open. Let the forest draw nearer. Let the maple leaf's quiet story begin to unfurl, soft as moonlight finding its way through branches. There is a moment, just after dusk settles and before the deeper shades of night fully gather, when the forest holds its breath. Not in tension, but in a kind of peaceful pause, a moment when everything, from the smallest drifting seed to the tallest maple trunk, simply rests in the softness of fading light. In this quiet pause, a question rises gently, like mist lifting from a calm river. What makes a single leaf worthy of representing an entire land? It is a question carried not by urgency, but by curiosity, one that settles lightly into the mind, the way a maple leaf settles onto the earth at the close of autumn. Simple, yet filled with the kind of depth that invites the heart to wander slowly. The maple leaf is familiar to many. Its shape appears on flags, coins, trails, signs, and souvenirs. It waves quietly in the breeze atop the Canadian flag, its form steady and symmetrical against fields of red and white. And yet, for all its presence, few pause long enough to feel the softness of its story, To ask this question is to step beneath the branches of the maple, where the forest loosens its layers and reveals its gentle rhythms. It is to imagine early winters where communities gathered syrup from the thawing trees, warming their evenings with sweetness drawn from quiet roots. It is to picture travelers finding comfort in the familiar shape of leaves that marked paths and seasons. It is to see generations looking upon the maple not as a symbol of power, but as a companion, steady, generous, unhurried. The question does not seek a single answer. Instead, it encourages a slow unfolding, much like the leaf itself, opening tenderly each spring before drifting back to the earth when the year grows cool again. It invites the listener to consider how symbols are sometimes chosen not for grandeur, but for the calm presence they hold in the lives of many. As the forest deepens into twilight, the question lingers in the air, gentle and unpressured. It drifts with the wind that moves through the branches. It glows faintly with the last hints of sunlight touching the leaves. And slowly, it begins to guide our steps, not forward with haste, but deeper into stillness, where understanding grows the way trees grow, quietly, ring by ring, season by season. So as night gathers around the maples, allow this question to rest softly in your thoughts. No need to search for answers. Simply let it drift beside you, like a leaf carried on a slow-moving breeze. What makes a leaf worthy of becoming a nation's emblem? Tonight, we walk gently toward that understanding, not through facts alone, but through the peaceful story the forest has to share. The journey begins with a simple view, a quiet sweep of maple forests stretching across the northern landscape, their branches resting in the cool hush of early evening. From above, the land appears softened by a patchwork of gentle greens in summer, warm golds in fall, delicate grays in winter, and tender buds of red in spring. But from here, at ground level, the forest feels close, familiar, like stepping into a room where every presence is calm. The maple trees stand in loose gatherings, never hurried, never pressing against one another. Their trunks rise in patient columns, textured with the subtle grooves of time. Sunlight, what remains of it, filters through the upper canopy, falling in slow, shifting patterns across the forest floor. These drifting patches of light move the way thoughts move as someone begins to drift towards sleep, softly, without direction, without urgency. There is a gentle sense that this place has been unhurried for a very long time. The soil carries the memory of countless seasons, each one layering another whisper of life onto the one before it. Moss settles into the shaded crevices at the roots of the trees, forming small, silent worlds. A breeze moves through the leaves, not as a gust, but as a slow, thoughtful motion, almost like the forest exhaling. Here, the listener is invited to settle into this landscape in the same way, without intention, without effort. Just observing the simple, steady presence of the maples is enough. Their stillness offers a kind of reassurance, reminding us that nature grows not through striving, but through quiet continuity. The world of the maple is shaped by seasons that drift in gentle cycles. Spring arrives with delicate buds that unfold like soft breaths. Summer deepens, filling the canopy with spacious, cool shade. Autumn glows with warmth as the leaves turn to amber and crimson. And winter wraps everything in a pale hush, the trees standing in peaceful silhouettes against the soft sky. This slow rhythm, repeated year after year, is why the maple feels so trustworthy to the human spirit. It does not rise and fall with abrupt changes. It moves through time gracefully, its patterns smooth and reassuring. As we stand among these trees, the feeling of steadiness begins to echo through the body. A gentle loosening in the shoulders, a softening at the heart, a breath that deepens without instruction. The landscape before us is not just a forest. It is a place where simplicity becomes a form of comfort, where colors shift without rush, where the air itself carries a quiet invitation to rest. As we prepare to follow the maple more closely, let this gentle scene settle inside you. Let it become the backdrop of your thoughts, soft as moss, steady as a tree, quiet as the moment just before sleep begins. The maple leaf is one of nature's gentlest designs, broad, balanced, and shaped in a way that seems to echo the calm rhythm of breath. If you trace its outline with your eyes, you may notice how every curve flows into the next without hurry. Each point lifts softly outward, like small, calm gestures opening toward the sky. Nothing about the leaf feels sharp or urgent. Its shape moves the way a quiet thought drifts across the mind before sleep, smooth, steady, unforced. Holding a maple leaf is a simple thing, yet it brings an unexpected sense of ease. Its surface carries faint veins that spread out like the slow branching of rivers, guiding the eye in gentle pathways from the center toward the edges. Even the softness of its texture seems to encourage stillness, as though the leaf were meant to be touched lightly, turned slowly, appreciated at a pace that feels restful. Nature often creates shapes that speak to us in ways we don't fully understand. The maple leaf is one of those shapes. It feels familiar even to those who have never walked beneath a maple tree. Perhaps it is the leaf's symmetry, its almost effortless balance that creates a sense of quiet harmony. Perhaps it is the way each lobe extends outward like an open hand. Or perhaps it is simply the calm presence of the tree that gives its leaf a gentle resonance within the heart. When wind moves through the forest, maple leaves respond with a soft, layered rustle, never harsh, always rounded at the edges. They shimmer rather than shake. They whisper rather than warn. The motion is slow enough for the mind to follow, yet subtle enough to lull the senses into drifting ease. Watching them sway feels like watching a peaceful tide move across branches. In the warm months, the leaf's green holds a soothing depth, like a cool shadow on a summer afternoon. As seasons shift, the leaf turns into shades of amber, gold, and deep red, each hue carrying the warmth of gentle firelight. Nothing is abrupt. The colors drift into one another with the gradual softness of a candle fading towards sleep. This quiet shape, so steady, so familiar, has touched generations simply through its presence. It does not demand attention. It invites it softly, a leaf that mirrors the calm we often seek within ourselves, a shape that feels as though it has always existed somewhere inside our memory, waiting to be recognized. As we continue our slow walk through the maple's world, let the outline of the leaf remain in your thoughts. Its gentle curves, its balanced points, its unhurried symmetry. Let it become a small anchor of calm, a shape the mind can return to whenever it wishes to drift more deeply into rest. Long before cities rose, long before roads drew lines across the land, long before borders or flags or nations took shape, the maple tree was already here, standing quietly, growing steadily, belonging to the rhythm of the earth in a way that asked for nothing and offered much. Walking among these trees is like stepping into a soft conversation with time itself. Their trunks hold the layered memory of seasons, each ring a gentle echo of years that have passed without hurry. A young maple begins as something small and tender, its first leaves delicate and pale. But even then, its roots reach downward with a slow, deliberate grace, exploring the soil with the patience of something that understands. There is no need to rush. Season after season, those roots deepen. They weave themselves among stones, alongside streams, and through rich earth that has held life for countless years. Nothing about this growth is loud. It unfolds quietly, the same way dawn unfolds across a sleeping landscape. As the maple matures, its trunk thickens with subtle strength that does not shout but settles. You can run a hand along its bark and feel the soft ridges shaped by decades of gentle weather, the cool touch of rain, the warmth of morning sun, the whisper of falling snow. Each layer tells a story, though none of it is dramatic. It is a story written in softness, in stillness, in the slow passage of time that nature experiences like a long, peaceful breath. The forest around the maple changes constantly. New saplings emerge, old branches return to the soil, moss gathers, animals wander through, seasons shift in endless cycles. But the maple remains anchored, not by defiance, but by a kind of quiet acceptance. It allows the world to change around it while continuing to offer shade, calmness, and a gentle sense of continuity. Imagining the earliest peoples walking among these trees brings a peaceful warmth to the mind. They would have known the maple not as a symbol, but as a companion. A tree that returned each year with its soft blossoms, its broad leaves, its sweetness drawn from the earth. A tree they could trust to stand through storms and winters, arriving each spring with the same unhurried promise of renewal. When a tree has lived through so much time, its presence begins to feel like an anchor, not heavy, but quietly grounding. It reminds us that the earth holds long stories, and that we are simply passing through them gently. As you picture this maple, rooted deeply in slow-moving centuries, allow yourself to share that steadiness. Let your breath lengthen in the same calm rhythm. Let your thoughts rest like roots finding soft soil. Time, too, can become gentle when we let it move as slowly as a tree grows. There is a special quiet that settles over a maple forest when rain begins to fall. It is not the loud rush of a storm, nor the sharp drumming of heavy droplets. It is a soft, steady tapping, rain that seems to fall with the patient rhythm of a heartbeat, slowed by rest. The bark of the maple receives each drop gently, darkening in color, becoming cool and smooth beneath the touch of moisture. It glistens faintly, as though the tree has slipped into a deeper calm. The scent of rain mingling with maple bark is subtle but comforting, a mixture of damp earth, fresh leaves, and the quiet sweetness carried within the tree itself. As the forest floor absorbs the rainfall, the air grows fuller, softer, almost warm in its fragrance. It settles around the listener like a lightly woven blanket, something not meant to weigh down, but to soothe. Water moves along the trunk in thin, unhurried streams. It gathers in the grooves of the bark, tracing the gentle ridges the tree has grown over many seasons. Every droplet, seems to follow a path shaped by time, with no need to rush its descent. The maple stands still, welcoming the rainfall the way a peaceful mind welcomes rest. Listen closely to this rain, and you may notice how each sound finds its place in the forest: the soft tapping on leaves, the quiet dripping from branch to branch, the faint whisper as water meets moss. None of these sounds demand attention. They weave together in a slow, steady pattern that feels almost like a lullaby, nature's version of a gentle hum. Rain nourishes the maple from the outside in. It cools the bark, softens the soil, and carries moisture into the roots waiting just beneath the surface. The tree absorbs what it needs, not hurriedly, but in the same calm way it grows. There is a peaceful relationship here. The sky offering water, the tree receiving it, the earth gathering it below. In this rain-soaked quiet, the forest feels more sheltered, more intimate. The colors deepen, greens become richer, browns grow warmer, and the trunks shimmer with a faint, reflective glow. It is as though the maple trees have put on their evening attire, ready to settle into the slower pulse of night. Standing beneath a maple during gentle rain invites the mind to soften as well. Thoughts ease into slower shapes. The breath deepens almost without effort, and the world beyond the forest begins to fade, its edges dissolving into the sound of water falling softly through leaves. Let this rainfall be a reminder that even nature rests. Even trees pause. Even the sky lowers its voice sometimes. And in these moments, everything seems to move at a pace that allows the heart to loosen, the mind to drift, and the body to settle into a state of comforting stillness. There is something almost dreamlike about the way sunlight moves through maple leaves, especially in the gentle weeks of autumn. As the seasons begin to lean toward cooler days, the green of the canopy softens into warm hues, first hints of amber, then deepening shades of gold, and eventually a quiet glow of red that seems to warm the air around it. These colors do not arrive suddenly. They drift into being, slowly unfolding like soft brushstrokes painted by time itself. When sunlight passes through the leaves at this stage, it takes on a quality that feels tender and glowing. The forest becomes brighter yet calmer, bathed in a warm radiance that settles gently across the land. Shadows soften, edges blur. Even the air seems to shimmer with a peaceful warmth, as if each ray of light has slowed its pace to match the unhurried pulse of the trees. Standing beneath a maple in autumn light feels like stepping into a quiet lantern made of leaves. The branches above filter the sunlight into layered patterns, each patch of light drifting with the slightest movement of air. These shifting shapes create a rhythm that feels soothing to watch, light swaying with the grace of a lullaby, drifting across trunks and resting on the forest floor like small pools of golden calm. The transformation of the leaves is guided by gentle changes within them. Pigments that remained hidden during summer slowly begin to surface as days grow shorter and sunlight softens. The greens retreat in unhurried waves, revealing the warm tones beneath, colors that have been waiting patiently, ready to glow when the season asks for stillness. This quiet transition reflects the maple's natural rhythm, a rhythm that values ease over speed and presence over urgency. In the height of autumn, when the leaves have reached their richest colors, the forest seems to breathe with a soft, warming light. There is nothing dramatic in this change. It is simply the tree's way of embracing the season's flow, of releasing one cycle and preparing gently for the next. Even as the leaves begin to loosen their hold, ready to drift toward the earth, they offer this final moment of quiet brilliance, a soft farewell before winter's rest. For the listener, this warm canopy can become an inner landscape of calm. Imagine standing there, feeling the filtered sunlight resting on your skin, noticing how each leaf glows with a subtle fire that soothes rather than startles. Imagine the forest around you settling into the stillness of late afternoon, the light dimming gradually, inviting your breath to slow in harmony with the world. Sunlight through red and gold maple leaves is nature's way of offering a gentle reminder that transitions can be soft, that change can arrive in warm colors, and that even endings can feel beautifully, peacefully calm. When night finally settles across a maple forest, it does so with a gentleness that feels almost like a whispered lullaby. Daylight withdraws without haste, leaving behind a cool hush that stretches between the trunks. The colors of the leaves fade softly into deeper shades, their edges becoming silhouettes against the quiet glow of the sky. Nothing stirs abruptly. The entire forest seems to lower its voice, easing into its evening calm. The maple tree, which glowed so warmly beneath the sun, now shifts into a quieter presence. Its branches rise in elegant outlines, their shapes softened by moonlight. The canopy above becomes a loose tapestry of shadows, each leaf resting in place with the stillness of a thought held gently in the mind. Night does not change the maple's character. It simply reveals a different layer of its softness. In this darkness, the sounds of the forest take on a slow, rhythmic cadence, a faint rustle of leaves, barely perceptible, a soft sigh of wind passing through the higher branches, the delicate tapping of a distant twig settling into place. Everything moves with intention, yet without urgency, as though the entire woodland has agreed to slow its heartbeat for the night. Moonlight touches the maple's bark in pale silver, tracing the quiet grooves that time has left behind. When the moon is full, the forest brightens with a gentle, ambient glow, not enough to illuminate every detail, but enough to feel like a soft presence guiding you through the dark. The tree seems to breathe under this light, its form expanding and settling with a serenity that welcomes rest. The animals who visit the maple at night do so with equal calm. Small insects drift quietly across the bark. A gentle winged moth may pause beneath a leaf, letting the cool air move around it. In the branches above, a night bird might shift softly into a more comfortable perch, its movement barely disturbing the stillness. There is no rush in these motions, only a sense of life continuing at a peaceful, unhurried pace. If you stand beneath the maple during these hours, you may notice how the night deepens not all at once, but in layers. A layer of coolness settling in the air, a layer of darkness folding gently around the trees, a layer of silence resting over the land like a slow, descending veil. With each layer, the forest drifts further into its restful rhythm, inviting you to drift with it. Night transforms the maple into a quiet guardian, steady, calm, and patient. It asks nothing of you except to slow down, breathe softly, and let the quiet become part of your inner landscape. Here, in this serene darkness, thoughts begin to soften. The mind begins to release its hold, and the forest, with the maple at its heart, becomes a peaceful space where rest settles naturally, like leaves drifting gently toward the earth. There is a particular steadiness in the way a maple tree lives through the seasons, not resisting, not forcing, simply moving with the quiet flow of time. This gentle endurance is part of why so many communities across history came to see the maple as more than just a tree. Its presence was calming, dependable, a constant companion in landscapes where life unfolded slowly and naturally. Imagine a small clearing long ago, where people gathered beneath the shade of broad maple leaves. The air would have been cool and soft there, even on the warmer days. Children may have played quietly under its branches, tracing the leaf shapes in the dirt. Families might have rested in the shadow of its canopy, grateful for its steady shelter. And through every season, the maple stood nearby, never hurried, never absent. In winter, when snow drifted gently around its trunk, the maple stood like a quiet sculpture against the pale sky. In spring, it welcomed new leaves with a softness that echoed the year's fresh beginning. Summer brought deep shade that settled comfortably across the ground, and autumn arrived with its familiar glow of warm colors that wrapped the landscape in gentle light. Each transformation held its own kind of peace, each season a soft continuation of the one before. For early communities, this calm consistency held meaning. In a world shaped by the rhythms of nature, the maple's reliable presence became a quiet teacher. Its endurance did not come from strength expressed outwardly, but from a deep inner steadiness, a way of continuing year after year without strain. As people gathered food, traveled along forest paths, or simply moved through their days, the maple became a familiar sight. Its leaves marked the time of year. Its shade offered comfort. Its sap provided sweetness. Its wood warmed homes gently and steadily when needed. The tree lived alongside the rhythms of daily life, becoming a silent companion through each season's slow unfolding. When a tree supports life in so many quiet ways, it begins to take root not just in the soil, but in memory. People come to associate it with home, with steadiness, with a calm sense of belonging. These feelings, tender and familiar, are the beginnings of symbolism, the earliest threads of meaning that later weave into the fabric of identity. Peaceful endurance is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is not forceful. It is simply present, season after season, year after year. And the maple, with its steady rhythms and gentle gifts, embodied this presence with effortless grace. As you rest in this part of the story, imagine yourself leaning back against the trunk of an old maple. Feel the slow pulse of time in its wood. Sense the quiet patience in its roots. Let its stillness become a reflection of your own, reminding you that endurance can be soft, peaceful, and deeply calming. Deep within the quiet body of the maple tree, there's a slow-moving sweetness, sap that drifts gently through hidden channels, carrying the memory of sunlight, rain, and soil. This sap is not hurried. It follows a patient rhythm, rising gradually in the cool of early spring, when the forest is still soft with frost, and the air carries the faint scent of thawing earth. It moves with the unhurried grace that defines the maple itself, becoming one of nature's most tender gifts. Long before this sweetness was collected and celebrated, people learned to sense the maple's quiet generosity. They noticed how the tree awakened gently from winter, how its sap began to flow with the lengthening of days. They tasted the mild, watery sweetness, and understood that within this tree lived a calm abundance, one that asked for very little and offered much in return. The process of gathering sap was always a slow act. A tap placed into the bark would release a soft, steady drip, each droplet forming at its own pace. Not a stream, not a rush, just a quiet rhythm, like the sound of water falling from a leaf after rain. Collectors would wait, listening to the gentle tapping into wooden containers, feeling a sense of peace in the unhurried work. The tree gave what it could, and the people received it with gratitude, allowing nature to set the pace. As the sap was warmed over the fire, the water within it slowly drifted away as steam, rising into the crisp spring air in soft clouds. What remained was a delicate syrup, rich and golden, carrying the essence of the tree's patient life. This transformation from clear sap to warm sweetness felt almost like a small miracle, though it followed nothing more than the quiet laws of nature. Maple syrup became a gentle companion to early communities, a source of nourishment and comfort during the end of winter's long stillness. It brought warmth to meals, lightness to spirits, and a reminder that even after the coldest months, gentle sweetness could return. The maple's gift was not simply food, it was a symbol of renewal, patience, and the soft energy that flows through the natural world. Standing by a maple in early spring, you might imagine the slow rise of sap within the trunk, moving quietly beneath the bark. You might picture the tree stretching into the warming season, offering its sweetness not as a bold gesture, but as a continuation of its calm existence. There is no urgency in this gift, only the steady unfolding of what the tree naturally carries within. Let this thought settle into your mind like a warm spoonful of syrup on a quiet morning. The maple gives gently, it nourishes without hurry, and its sweetness reminds us that some of life's most comforting moments come from processes that take their time, unfolding slowly, softly, in the peaceful rhythm of the earth. There was a time when the land stretched wide and quiet, with forests unfolding like gentle waves across hills and valleys. Paths were not carved sharply into the earth. They formed naturally, soft trails shaped by animals, by seasons, and by the light footsteps of those who walked the land long before maps, borders, or roads. In these early landscapes, the maple leaf became a kind of quiet guide, not through signs or symbols, but through simple familiarity. Travelers moving through the forest would notice the shape of the maple long before they reached it. Its broad leaves often shimmered in soft breezes, catching glimmers of sunlight even in shaded places. Its branches formed gentle arches overhead, creating passages of coolness in the warm seasons and soft silhouettes when the air grew cold. To wander between these trees was to walk within a natural corridor of calm. The maple's presence was steady. It appeared along rivers, near settlements, by trails worn into the soil. Its leaves marked the turning of seasons with a clarity that required no explanation, emerging in fresh reds and greens in spring, deepening into cool summer shade, glowing gold and crimson in autumn, and finally resting in bare, peaceful forms through winter's silence. To follow maples was to follow the quiet rhythm of the land itself. Early indigenous peoples understood the forest intimately, reading its patterns the way one reads a familiar and comforting story. The maple, with its recognizable leaves and gentle stature, became a natural landmark. Its groves often pointed toward water or good soil. Its shade suggested areas of rest. Its seasonal changes helped mark the passage of time, guiding journeys not in straight lines, but in soft arcs that respected the flow of the earth. There is something soothing in the idea of being guided not by urgency, but by presence. The maple did not instruct travelers. It simply stood where it always stood, calm, patient, quietly offering its shade and its warmth of color. People moved with the trees, trusting the land beneath their feet and the gentle patterns above their heads. Even those who traveled alone found comfort in the leaf's familiar shape. A single leaf drifting across a path could remind them that they were not far from rivers or settlements. A cluster of trees suggested a place to pause, breathe, and let the journey settle into the body. There was no pressure in this guidance, only a soft encouragement to move at a pace that felt natural. The maple leaf's role as a quiet companion continued through generations. It became part of memory, part of orientation, part of the soft understanding between people and the landscapes they lived within. And though the world has changed, the leaf still carries that feeling, a reminder of calm direction, of gentle pathways, of finding one's way through the world with ease rather than effort. As you imagine these early travelers walking slowly beneath broad leaves, let yourself feel that same sense of gentle guidance. No pressure, no hurry, just the quiet companionship of a leaf that has led countless souls through the soft, unfolding beauty of the forest. Across the maple forest, the wind carries its own gentle language, a quiet exchange between sky and branches, spoken in rhythms that shift slowly with the seasons. These winds never arrive abruptly. They come as soft movements in the air, as subtle temperature changes, as the faintest rustle of leaves that seem to lean in and listen. Each season brings its own whisper, its own tone, its own calming presence in the maple's world. In the early days of spring, the wind is cool and delicate. It brushes lightly against the tender new buds, encouraging them to open at their own pace. The breeze feels almost shy, as though it is waking the forest one leaf at a time. There is no rush, only the gentle coaxing of warmth into the branches, a promise of renewal carried softly on the air. Summer winds are broader, warmer, more filled with breath. They drift through full canopies with long, soothing exhalations, creating patterns of shade that shift slowly across the forest floor. In these months, the maple leaves respond with small, shimmering movements, tiny flickers of light and shadow that dance with the pace of a slowed heartbeat. The air feels spacious, almost generous, carrying the scent of warm bark and soft earth. Then, as the days grow shorter and the sun lowers its arc across the sky, autumn winds arrive with a new kind of gentleness. They do not hurry the leaves to change. Instead, they move through the forest like a quiet reminder that it is time to soften, time to release, time to let color unfurl in warm, glowing tones. When an autumn breeze drifts through a maple grove, it feels like nature's hand turning a page, slow, smooth, effortless. Winter brings the stillest wind of all. Cold currents drift lightly between bare branches, carrying a silence that seems to deepen the entire landscape. Even then, the maple sways only slightly, moving with the smallest suggestion of motion, responding to the wind not with resistance, but with calm acceptance. The air grows crisp, the forest grows quieter, and the maple stands in serene conversation with the sky. Through all these shifts, the maple listens. Its leaves, its branches, and even its roots feel the subtle stories traveling on the wind. And in this listening, the tree reminds us that change does not need to be abrupt. It can arrive gently, like a breeze shifting direction, like a cool breath turning warm again, like a cycle completing itself with quiet grace. As you imagine the wind moving softly through these trees, let your breath mirror that same movement. Let the inhale feel like spring stirring. Let the exhale feel like autumn settling. Allow the rhythm to slow, to deepen, to follow the natural cadence of a forest resting beneath the sky. The seasonal winds whisper to the maple, and the maple listens with patience. Tonight, you are invited to listen as well, to let each breath carry you a little deeper into stillness, as calm and unhurried as a leaf drifting on a gentle breeze. When the warm months begin to soften into early autumn, the maple tree releases one of its quiet wonders, the samaras, those small, delicate seeds that drift through the air with a motion so gentle it feels like watching a thought glide across the surface of a peaceful mind. Each seed carries a pair of thin wings, shaped in a way that helps it move not quickly, but gracefully, turning in slow spirals as it descends toward the earth. These seeds do not fall with heaviness. They drift, they wander. Their motion is unhurried, as though they are taking their time to explore the space between branch and ground. If you watch them long enough, their soft spinning can lull your thoughts into a similar rhythm, loosening the mind from the day's concerns, allowing everything to settle into a quiet flow. The forest seems to hold its breath during this gentle descent. Even a slight breeze can send dozens of samaras into the air at once, each one turning slowly in its own small dance. They move like tiny lanterns drifting on a calm river, floating wherever the air wishes to take them. There is no direction, no urgency, only movement guided by patience and ease. As the seeds settle onto the ground, they gather in soft clusters along mossy roots, among fallen leaves, and in patches of soil warmed by the late afternoon sun. Some find their resting places quickly. Others drift longer, spinning like quiet meditations in motion before eventually settling into the forest floor. Each seed carries within it the possibility of a new maple, though this possibility unfolds only when the time is right, when the soil is ready, when the season allows, when the forest gently agrees. The samaras of a maple remind us that life often moves in spirals rather than straight lines. Progress can be slow, meandering, and unhurried. And sometimes, the most meaningful direction comes not from pushing forward, but from letting ourselves drift with the soft currents that already surround us. For early peoples, the sight of these floating seeds may have represented more than just the cycle of growth. It may have symbolized the quiet wisdom of letting things unfold naturally. The seeds did not rush to the ground. They simply moved when the tree released them, trusting the air to guide their path. Imagine now that you are watching a single samara fall, its wings catching the light, its spiral soft and steady, its descent effortless. Feel how your own thoughts begin to slow, mirroring the seed's calm journey. There is no need to chase the moment. It simply unfolds, gently and peacefully. The maple's drifting seeds offer a soft reminder that thoughts too can be allowed to float, that letting go can be gentle, and that even the smallest motions of nature can guide the mind toward rest. Within the quiet of the forest, the maple tree lives not as a solitary presence, but as part of a gentle network of relationships, its roots, branches, leaves, and bark offering subtle support to countless forms of life. These partnerships unfold without sound, without rush, without any sense of urgency. They are simply the natural harmonies that develop when beings share the same space, growing together in slow, peaceful rhythms. Beneath the maple's roots lies a living world of soil, where tiny strands of fungi weave through the earth like threads in a soft tapestry. These threads connect root to root, tree to tree, forming quiet channels through which nutrients drift and stories of the forest are carried. The maple offers sugars created from sunlight. The fungi offer minerals gathered from deep within the soil. Their exchange is steady and gentle, an ongoing conversation that has lasted longer than any human memory. Above the ground, mosses gather at the base of the trunk, thriving in the shade created by the maple's broad canopy. The air around them remains cool and moist. Sheltered from harsh rays of sun, they, in turn, soften the ground, holding moisture that keeps the earth comfortable for the roots beneath. This small, tender cooperation may go unnoticed, but it is part of what allows the forest to feel so peacefully balanced. Higher in the branches, birds find safe places to perch and rest. Chickadees, finches, and gentle forest songbirds settle into the maple's soft architecture, their quiet movements blending seamlessly into the stillness. The tree offers them shelter, stable branches, and the comfort of height. In return, the birds carry seeds from place to place, helping life move through the forest in calm, natural cycles. Even small insects play their part, resting on leaves, brushing softly against bark, drifting through the air with the lightness of drifting pollen. The maple neither resists them nor calls attention to their presence. It simply exists beside them, allowing the forest to be a home for many tiny lives moving in slow, delicate patterns. In autumn, when the leaves fall, they do not end their story. They settle onto the ground in soft layers, becoming nourishment for future growth. Earthworms, beetles, and microorganisms gently break them down, turning the leaves into soil that will one day feed the roots of new saplings. Even in its falling, the maple continues to give, quietly supporting the life around it. These partnerships are not dramatic. They do not rely on struggles or contests. They thrive on simple coexistence, on the soft, shared rhythms of beings living side by side, each one contributing in quiet, effortless ways. As you picture this network of life, fungi weaving beneath the roots, moss softening the earth, birds settling in branches, allow yourself to feel the calm that comes from connection. Not connection built on effort, but on gentle presence. A reminder that we too can move through the world in ways that support others softly, naturally, without urgency or strain. The maple stands not as an isolated tree, but as part of a peaceful community. And in its stillness, it teaches us that harmony grows best when each life is allowed to move at its own gentle pace. In the early hours of the day, before the sun has lifted fully above the horizon, a quiet mist often drifts through the maple forest. It arrives softly, almost invisibly at first, like a delicate veil settling over the branches. The air becomes cool and lightly textured, filled with small particles of moisture that catch faint hints of morning light. Nothing stirs loudly in these moments. The forest seems to pause, wrapped in a gentle stillness that invites every breath to deepen. The mist settles between branches as though the trees themselves are exhaling. It floats around the leaves, softening their outlines until each one appears slightly blurred, like a watercolor painting, whose colors have begun to blend. The world becomes quieter, wrapped in tones of pale gray and silver. Even the forest floor feels hushed, its details softened beneath the mist's gentle touch. As the maple leaves hold tiny droplets of water, each edge catches the light in its own subtle way. Some droplets cling delicately, forming miniature beads that glisten when the faintest shimmer of dawn reaches them. Others slide slowly toward the tips of the leaves before falling in soft, nearly silent drops to the ground below. This slow, rhythmic movement of water creates a soothing cadence, an unhurried pattern that mirrors the calm rhythms of early morning breath. The mist carries with it a faint scent of damp bark, rich soil, and the cool promise of a day not yet awakened. It is a scent both fresh and ancient, familiar to anyone who has walked among trees at dawn. The maple trunks, darkened slightly by moisture, appear almost polished, their surfaces reflecting the muted light with a serene quietness. Birds begin their morning in soft ways as well, a gentle flutter here, a quiet chirp there, never enough to disturb the scene, only enough to suggest the first notes of the day. Their presence feels like a whisper of life drifting through the mist, subtle and comforting. As the sun rises gradually, its warm glow begins to filter through the trees. Light passes through the mist in long, soft beams that stretch across the forest floor, illuminating patches of moss and fallen leaves. These beams move slowly, accompanied by the faintest warmth, gently signaling the forest that morning has begun. But even as the mist starts to thin, its peaceful essence lingers in the air. The maple tree stands calmly within it all, its branches steady, its leaves held in quiet suspension, its presence unbothered by the subtle transformation of the dawn. There is something deeply restful about witnessing a forest waking in such a slow, graceful way. It reminds us that beginnings do not need to be abrupt. They can arrive like mist, softly, gradually, with space for stillness to remain. Allow this morning scene to settle into your thoughts. A forest wrapped in gentle fog, leaves catching droplets of water, light unfolding slowly across the branches. Let the softness of this moment rest within you, guiding your breath into the same calm, unhurried rhythm. Deep within the trunk of every maple tree lies a quiet record of time, thin, delicate rings that hold the memory of seasons long past. These rings are not loud declarations of history. They are gentle traces, soft impressions formed year after year as the tree grows in calm, steady rhythms. If the trunk were a book, its pages would feel smooth and unhurried, each line written slowly by sunlight, rain, and the silent movement of sap. A maple tree adds a new ring each year, though the tree is never aware of the moment it happens. Growth unfolds the same way breath unfolds, naturally, without intention. When spring brings gentle warmth and the first stretching of roots and branches, the tree's inner wood expands in pale, tender layers. As the seasons drift onward and the days mellow into summer, the ring thickens with a slightly deeper shade, recording the steady flow of nourishment the tree has received. In wetter years, the rings widen, reflecting the generous rain that soaked into the soil, feeding the roots with slow, cool moisture. In drier years, the rings narrow, shaped softly by scarcity, though never in struggle, only in quiet adjustment. Every variation carries its own form of beauty, its own softness, its own quiet truth about the forest's unfolding story. The tree does not cling to these memories, nor does it revisit them. They simply remain, held deep within its center like faint echoes. Each ring is a complete circle, unbroken, symbolizing patience and calm endurance. Together, they form a gentle archive of decades, sometimes centuries, of peaceful growth. Scientists and woodworkers have studied these rings, finding patterns that speak of rainfall, temperature, and time. But to stand before a living maple and imagine these rings hidden within is to sense something more poetic. It is to feel the presence of years layered softly atop one another, each one contributing to the quiet strength of the tree. You can almost imagine the tree breathing steadily through these decades, unaware of how beautifully it carries its own history. If you run your hand along the bark of an old maple, you may sense a subtle depth, a firmness shaped not by force, but by accumulation. It is a kind of strength that grows only from consistency, gentleness, and persistence. The rings within support the branches above, allowing them to sway in wind, to hold leaves through seasons, and to stand calmly against time's slow passing. There is a peaceful lesson hidden in these concentric circles, that growth does not need to arrive in leaps. That time does not need to be filled with urgency to be meaningful. That we too can gather our experiences in quiet layers, letting them become part of us without demanding attention. As you imagine the maple's rings, light and dark, wide and narrow, let them become a symbol of your own gentle passages through time. May they remind you that every season adds something soft, something steady, something quietly strengthening to the core. Throughout the day, and even into the softer hours of dawn and dusk, the maple tree becomes a gentle haven for birds seeking a place to pause. Its branches extend in calm, welcoming arcs, offering perches that feel steady beneath delicate feet. There is no urgency in these gatherings, no flurry of activity, only the quiet companionship shared between tree and bird, each moving with natural ease in the presence of the other. Small songbirds often choose the maple's branches as a place to begin their morning. Chickadees may flutter in with gentle curiosity, their movements soft and light. Finches settle into clusters of leaves, resting in the cool shade that the canopy provides. A sparrow or two might perch near the trunk, tucking themselves into comfortable stillness as the forest slowly wakes. These moments are simple, unhurried, held gently in the calm of the maple's embrace. Even in the busier hours of the day, when light brightens and shadows shift across the ground, the birds who visit the maple do so peacefully. The tree offers a vantage point that feels safe yet open, a place where soft breezes stir the leaves just enough to remind each creature of the slow rhythm of the world around them. The birds respond with small, content movements, turning their heads, ruffling feathers, adjusting their perches with motions so subtle they blend seamlessly into the quiet of the forest. Sometimes, a single bird will remain for longer, lingering among the branches as though drawn to the maple's steady presence. It may rest on a thin twig that sways gently under its weight, listening to the sounds drifting through the canopy. Wind sighing, leaves whispering, distant water murmuring from a nearby stream. All of these soft sounds create a cradle of calm that encourages the bird and the listener to settle more deeply into peaceful stillness. In the evening, when the sky dims into softer shades and the forest prepares for night, the maple once again becomes a place of gentle refuge. Birds return to its branches, finding quiet places to rest as the last light filters through the leaves. Their silhouettes form delicate shapes against the fading sky, adding to the tranquil beauty of the tree at dusk. The maple, with its calm stature, seems to hold each visitor with the same patient kindness it offers to every part of the forest. What is special about these interactions is not their rarity, but their simplicity. Life in the maple's branches does not rush. It does not strive. It unfolds naturally, shaped by the unspoken agreement between bird and tree to share a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of being gently held by the world. As you picture these quiet gatherings, birds resting lightly among soft leaves, branches swaying in slow harmony, allow your own breath to follow the same rhythm. Let each inhale feel like the gentle lift of wings. Let each exhale feel like the settling of feathers into stillness. Here, in the maple's quiet arms, everything can rest. When winter settles over the maple forest, it does so with a gentleness that feels almost like a long, quiet exhale. The world softens beneath layers of snow, and the maple trees stand peacefully within this pale, quiet landscape. Their branches, now bare of leaves, stretch calmly toward the muted sky, forming graceful shapes against the cold air. Nothing in this season asks for speed. Everything moves in slow, measured rhythms, as though the entire forest has chosen to rest. Snow gathers softly along the limbs of the maple, creating smooth lines of white that highlight the quiet architecture of the tree. Each branch holds its weight with patient stillness, allowing the snow to settle without resistance. The forest floor below becomes a broad, unbroken blanket, gentle, cool, and undisturbed except for the occasional trace of a small animal passing quietly through. Even sound seems softened. Footsteps fall into the snow with a muted hush, and the wind becomes a subtle, lingering whisper. Winter's sun brings its own kind of calm light. It shines low across the sky, casting long, delicate shadows that drift slowly as the day unfolds. When the sunlight touches the snow-laden branches, they sparkle faintly as though dusted with soft crystals. The maple stands serene in this glow, unaffected by the cold, its trunk steady and warm beneath its thick layers of bark. Inside the tree, life continues with gentle slowness. Sap moves only in faint pulses, pausing in the coldest stretches, waiting for the soft cues of spring to stir again. Roots rest quietly in the earth, held by the insulating comfort of soil and snow. Nothing is dormant in a harsh way. Every part of the maple simply adopts a pace that matches the season's stillness. Animals treat the maple with the same quiet respect. A squirrel might pause upon a branch, its fur fluffed against the cold, before continuing its slow journey along the tree's limbs. A bird may shelter briefly in a crook of the trunk before taking off into the wintry air. These visits happen gently, peacefully, without disturbing the tree's deep sense of rest. The maple's endurance through winter is not about strength and opposition. It is about ease, acceptance, and the art of being still. The tree does not rush to reach spring. It simply remains present, allowing each cold day to pass like a soft page in time. And in this patient stillness, the maple exhibits a quiet wisdom that rest is not empty, but necessary, not absence, but preparation. As you imagine the winter forest, snow resting softly on branches, air cool and clear, sunlight drifting over frozen ground, let yourself feel that same winter calm, a slowing, a gentling, a quiet settling within your thoughts. The maple stands peacefully in winter's embrace, reminding us that there is beauty in stillness and comfort in moving with the seasons at a pace that asks nothing of us but to rest. As winter slowly loosens its hold on the maple forest, the first signs of thaw arrive not with noise or haste, but with the softest of changes, temperatures lifting by a degree or two, sunlight lingering a little longer on the bark, the faint sound of dripping water forming in the quiet distance. These subtle cues awaken something within the maple, inviting the tree to begin its gentle return from winter's long rest. At first, nothing looks different. The branches remain bare, the forest floor still carries patches of snow, but deep inside the tree, sap begins to stir with delicate movement, responding to the soft warmth traveling through the air and soil. This stirring is not hurried. It rises like a slow inhale after a peaceful slumber, filling the tree's inner channels with a calm readiness for the season ahead. The thaw transforms the forest in gradual, soothing gestures. Snow melts in thin sheets that slide from branches with quiet drops, each one landing on the ground with a soft, rhythmic hush. The soil beneath begins to soften, releasing the cool scent of earth that has rested through the winter months. Small streams and trickles return to life, flowing gently over rocks and roots, adding a tranquil melody to the awakening landscape. For the maple, this is a moment of quiet renewal. Its roots drink in the melting snow, absorbing moisture that has been waiting patiently in the frozen earth. The sap flows a little more freely with each passing day, encouraged by warmth that drifts slowly through the bark. There is no rush in this process. Nature transitions with the ease of a slow breath, stretching quietly into the morning. Those who have walked the forest for generations know the signs well. They feel the subtle shift in air, hear the gentle dripping from branches, and understand that the maple is beginning to wake. In early spring, people would tap the tree carefully, respectfully, to gather small amounts of sap, letting it drip into wooden containers in soft, steady rhythms. The tree offers what it can, and the forest responds with the unhurried return of life. Buds begin to form along the branches soon after, barely noticeable at first, tiny knots of potential held with delicate patience. They wait for warmer days, for brighter sun, for the steady encouragement that spring brings. When they finally begin to open, it is a slow, graceful unfurling, like a thought forming gently in the mind. The thaw is not just a seasonal shift, it is a moment of breath, an exhale from winter, an inhale into spring. It reminds us that renewal does not need to arrive with force. It can come quietly, in melting snow, in subtle warmth, in the soft movement of sap rising within a tree. As you imagine this slow awakening, the snow drifting away, the earth softening beneath your feet, the maple beginning to breathe again, allow your own breath to follow that same steady rhythm, calm, unhurried. Welcome to the first gentle steps of spring. Light moves differently in a maple forest. It arrives not as a single, bright gesture, but as a series of gentle offerings that shift throughout the day, first soft, then warm, then golden, then dimming slowly into dusk. The maple, with its broad and open leaves, becomes a quiet companion to this wandering light, shaping it into patterns that soothe the senses and invite the mind into stillness. When morning begins, light enters the forest delicately, filtering through branches in thin, silvery beams. Each beam drifts between leaves, settling carefully onto the forest floor in soft patches. Nothing about this light feels direct or hurried. It appears as though the sun is taking time to greet each tree, each leaf, each space between roots before fully embracing the day. As the sun rises higher, the maple canopy transforms the brightness into a gentle glow. The leaves act as soft lanterns, some catching the light and holding it in warm, translucent shades, others casting cool shadows that shift with slow breezes. Together, they create a mosaic of stillness, moving, yet not disturbing, shifting, yet always calm. The forest becomes a place where light feels like a tender presence rather than an overwhelming force. At midday, when the sun stands tall in the sky, the light beneath the maples remains soothing. Their leaves broaden the shade, spreading it across the ground like a quiet blanket. This shade is not heavy. It is cool, inviting, a refuge for animals and humans alike. Here, in this dimmed space beneath the canopy, the world seems to settle into a slower rhythm. Even the air feels thicker with tranquility, filled with the scent of warm bark and softened by the faint hum of nature's quiet conversations. In the late afternoon, the light begins to stretch into longer, gentler rays. It passes through the leaves at lower angles, illuminating their veins with a tender glow. The forest becomes a place of warm hues and soft shadows, as though the sun itself is winding down, preparing for rest. The edges of each leaf take on a golden outline, creating a peaceful shimmer that floats through the branches with each small breeze. By the time evening arrives, the light has become almost weightless. It glides across the landscape in soft strokes, settling into the spaces between the trees before gradually dissolving into dusk. The maple, having shaped and softened the light all day, now stands quietly in the fading glow, its silhouette blending into the cooling sky. Throughout this gentle cycle, the tree and the light form a simple partnership, one offering its presence, the other shaping itself around that presence. Together, they create a world where brightness and shadow coexist in peaceful equilibrium. As you imagine this dance of soft illumination, light drifting through leaves, shade pooling gently beneath branches, let your thoughts slow to the same serene pace. Light may change, but its calm movement through the maple forest remains steady, reassuring, and deeply restful. Long before the maple leaf appeared on flags, coins, or emblems, it lived quietly in the hearts of those who walked beneath its branches. It was not a symbol made official by decree, nor chosen through a moment of ceremony. It became meaningful in softer ways, through repetition, through presence, through the simple comfort of seeing the familiar shape season after season. In this way, the leaf became less of an object and more of a feeling. For early peoples, the sight of a maple leaf drifting slowly to the ground signaled the passing of time with a kind of gentle clarity. The leaf's arrival in spring brought a sense of awakening. Its deep green of summer carried coolness and peace, Its colors in autumn offered warmth and quiet celebration. Its absence in winter invited stillness and rest. The leaf mirrored the rhythm of life itself, cycles of beginning, flourishing, releasing, and pausing. No tension, no urgency, only movement guided by nature's calm design. Over generations, this quiet presence left an imprint on those who lived with the maple. Families rested under its shade. Children traced its shape in dirt and snow. Travelers paused beneath its branches, feeling the familiar comfort of the leaves above. Communities tapped the tree for sap, warmed their homes with its wood, and marked their seasons by its colors. Without any announcement, the maple leaf became woven into daily life, a soft thread connecting people to the land around them. There is something timeless in the way a symbol forms naturally, not forced, but allowed to emerge through shared experience and gentle recognition. The maple leaf came to represent a sense of home, not in a grand or distant way, but through small moments of connection. The way light filters through the canopy in early morning, the way the leaves shimmer gently in wind, the way the tree stands steady through countless winters. When someone looked at the leaf, they saw not just a shape, but a memory of calm places and steady seasons, a memory of forests that offered shelter and quiet, a memory of growth that never rushed, yet never stopped. And so the maple leaf gathered meaning in the same slow, natural way the tree itself grows, layer by layer, season by season, quietly becoming a feeling of belonging, a feeling of warmth, a feeling of gentle endurance. As you picture the leaf now, its outline soft, its texture familiar, allow yourself to feel the comfort it carries, the comfort of rhythms that do not demand, the comfort of a symbol grown not from power, but from peace, the comfort of a leaf that simply existed, quietly and faithfully, until people began to recognize themselves in its steady presence. In this still moment, let the maple leaf rest gently in your mind, not as a sign, not as an emblem, but as a feeling, a soft, grounding reminder of home, of nature, and of the calm that flows through both. Long before the maple leaf became a national emblem, it held gentle meanings for the people who lived closest to the forests. These early interpretations did not come from speeches or ceremonies. They emerged naturally through observation, through daily familiarity, through small, quiet moments spent beneath the branches. In these moments, the maple leaf became more than foliage. It became a soft reminder of the rhythms shared between humans and the land. For those who depended on the forest for guidance and nourishment, the maple leaf offered subtle signs about the passing seasons. Its spring unfurling spoke of new beginnings, of soil warming and rivers running freely again. Its full summer shape brought shade and comfort, protecting travelers and families from the warmth of long days. Autumn turned the leaf into a lantern of warm color, lighting the landscape in hues that felt both celebratory and calm. And in winter, its absence encouraged rest, reflection, and the quiet acceptance of nature's cycles. People also noticed the maple's gentle resilience. It grew steadily without dominance. It offered sweetness through its sap, softness through its shade, warmth through its wood. Nothing about the tree demanded attention. Instead, it invited it gently. The leaf, with its balanced shape and familiar pattern, reflected the tree's calm nature, broad, open, welcoming. Over time, individuals began to recognize the maple leaf as something comforting. It symbolized the reliable presence of the tree, which stood season after season in the same place, offering shelter and familiarity. The leaf's shape became a quiet reminder of a forest that supported life in peaceful cooperation, plants, animals, and people all moving through the same gentle cycles. Communities often saw the leaf as a sign of abundance and nourishment. It represented the sweetness of sap that warmed early spring, the shade that cooled midsummer, and the soft carpet of leaves that enriched the soil each autumn. To hold a maple leaf was to hold a small fragment of the forest's generosity. It was a simple act that connected a person to the world around them, reminding them of nature's calm gifts. Even the way the leaf drifted to the earth carried symbolic weight. It did not fall abruptly. It spiraled. It glided. Its descent was soft, almost meditative, mirroring the peaceful acceptance of change that defined the landscape. The leaf taught without words, demonstrating that transition can be gentle and release can be graceful. These early meanings were not written down. They lived in memories, in stories shared quietly between generations. In the soft recognition that the maple leaf represented something steady and kind. It was a symbol born not of force, but of presence. As you rest with this part of the story, allow the leaf's first meanings to settle within you, not as definitions, but as sensations: warmth, steadiness, renewal, belonging. Let them drift into your thoughts as softly as a maple leaf settling onto the forest floor. The maple leaf's journey from a quiet presence in the forest to a cherished symbol of a nation did not happen suddenly. It unfolded the same way the tree itself grows, patiently, season by season, shaped by the lived experiences of countless people who found comfort in its steady form. Its rise to symbolism was not born from conflict or urgency. It emerged through years of gentle recognition. Through the soft and steady familiarity the leaf offered to communities across the land. As settlements grew along rivers and forests, people continued to rely on the maple for warmth, nourishment, and shade. Its sap sweetened early spring when food was still scarce. Its wood provided gentle heat in long winters. Its branches offered rest to birds and cool shelter to travelers. Day after day, season after season, the tree became a quiet companion in the lives of many. The leaf, in turn, came to represent the qualities people admired most in the land around them: the calm endurance of seasons, the generosity of nature's offerings, the quiet strength that does not demand attention. It became a familiar sight on paths, in gathering places, and in the hands of children who collected fallen leaves as keepsakes. In its simple shape, people saw a piece of home. As communities grew and cultures intertwined, the maple leaf became a shared reference point, a gentle symbol of connection between people and the land. It appeared in stories, songs, and early designs, not in the center of attention, but in soft corners where meaning often begins. By the 19th century, the leaf had drifted naturally into public consciousness, embraced not by proclamation, but by affection. It represented a land known for broad forests, for peaceful landscapes, and for a way of life shaped by cooperation rather than force. When the time came to choose symbols for emerging national identity, the maple leaf was already quietly waiting, familiar to all. It carried no burden of conflict, no associations with conquest or division. It held instead the gentle memories of families living close to the earth, of communities shaped by rivers and forests, of a collective appreciation for the calm endurance of nature. The decision to adopt the maple leaf as a national emblem felt less like a choice and more like a recognition, a soft acknowledgement of something that had long accompanied the people, something that had become part of the landscape of the heart. The iconic shape, so balanced and welcoming, now appears on the Canadian flag, but it still carries the warmth of its origins. It is more than a symbol. It is a feeling, a reminder of forests that breathe slowly, of winters that teach patience, of summers that offer shade, and of a land that moves at a peaceful, steady pace. As you hold this thought, imagine the leaf not as an emblem on cloth, but as a living part of the forest, glowing softly in sunlight, drifting gently in autumn air, resting quietly in your memory. If you hold a maple leaf in your hand, one that has drifted softly to the forest floor, you might notice how light and fragile it feels. Yet within its thin structure lies a quiet record of everything the tree has lived through in a season. A leaf does not speak, but it remembers in its own soft way. Sunlight absorbed through long afternoons, raindrops settling gently along the veins, cool breezes brushing its surface, and the slow transition of days turning toward autumn. The memory held in a leaf is not written in words. It appears instead in delicate patterns. The faint tracing of veins shows where nourishment flowed, moving carefully through its body. The texture reveals moments of dryness or humidity, changing subtly with the weather. Even its colors reflect the passage of time, green deepening into gold, shifting softly into red, then settling into warm browns as it prepares to return to the earth. Throughout the season, the leaf experiences everything without struggle. It receives sunlight with openness, welcomes water with ease, and moves with the wind in gentle arcs. It grows without expectation, simply following the natural rhythm of the tree. There is something comforting in this simplicity. The leaf exists by accepting each moment as it arrives, gathering memories through presence, not effort. When autumn comes, the leaf releases its hold on the branch in the same peaceful manner with which it lived. It does not cling. It does not resist. It lets go at the right time, drifting downward in soft spirals, carrying the season's quiet history with it. This descent is tender, almost meditative, a reminder that release can be beautiful, gentle, and aligned with nature's cycles. Once on the forest floor, the leaf continues its part in the story of the land. It rests among others like it, forming a soft blanket that protects the soil from winter's cold. Gradually, earth and rain begin to return it to the ground, where its memories become nourishment for future growth. Nothing is lost. It simply changes form, joining the rhythm of renewal. To think of a leaf as something that remembers can be soothing. It shows us that fleeting things, seasons, moments, breaths, carry meaning even when they pass quietly. Just as the leaf collects sunlight and rain, we gather experiences in our own gentle rings of memory. Some bright, some muted, all part of a year lived. As you picture a single maple leaf resting lightly in your hands, let yourself feel the calm it carries. A season preserved in color and shape, a story told without urgency, a reminder that we too can hold memories softly, letting them rest, letting them fade, letting them nourish what comes next. Deep beneath the forest floor, where sunlight rarely reaches, there exists a gentle network of connection, roots, soil, fungi, and moisture moving together in slow, harmonious exchange. This quiet system, often unseen, allows the maple and many other trees to communicate in subtle ways, not through words, not through sound, but through the soft intelligence of nature, the silent sharing of nourishment, signals, and support. The maple's roots stretch patiently into the earth, weaving through layers of soil that have been shaped by centuries of falling leaves and returning seasons. Here, the roots meet delicate threads of fungi, thin, pale, softly glowing strands that form an intricate web. These fungal threads create pathways through the ground, linking one tree to another, allowing nutrients to travel where they are needed most. It is a slow, thoughtful exchange, guided not by hierarchy, but by balance. This underground companionship helps the forest remain steady. If one area of soil becomes dry, moisture moves gradually through the network to ease the strain. If a young sapling needs extra nourishment to grow, nearby trees may share their reserves through the fungal threads. Nothing about this process is rushed. The forest cooperates without urgency, sustaining itself through gentle reciprocity. Above the ground, the maple participates in another form of quiet intelligence. Its leaves sense subtle changes in sunlight, adjusting their angles to capture just enough warmth. Its trunk responds to breezes, swaying with a softness that prevents strain. Its branches space themselves instinctively to allow light to flow through the canopy in calming patterns. Each movement and adjustment speaks of a wisdom that does not require thought, only presence. Animals, too, become part of this network of soft understanding. Birds choose resting places that support the balance of seeds and insects. Squirrels carry nuts from one place to another, unknowingly planting future trees. Even fallen leaves, which seem at first to be finishing their journey, create nutrients that enrich the soil for the roots below. Every life in the forest contributes to the whole, moving in quiet cooperation. What is often called intelligence in nature is not about strategy or complexity. It is about harmony, an intuition that emerges when living beings exist together in shared rhythms. The forest does not think in the way humans do, yet it adapts, supports, communicates, and continues with steady grace. The maple, as part of this system, reminds us that we do not always need to force solutions or search for quick answers. Sometimes the most profound wisdom comes from allowing ourselves to move with the world around us, slowly, gently, in a way that respects the flow of life. As you breathe deeply, imagine roots reaching quietly beneath you, connecting softly to the earth, forming a foundation that supports without demanding. Feel the calm that comes from this connection, the reassurance that you, too, are part of something steady and wise. The maple tree lives within a rhythm that never rushes, a quiet poetry expressed through its changing seasons. Each phase of the year arrives like a new stanza, soft, unhurried, unfolding with the grace of something that has known its pattern for centuries. To stand near a maple and simply observe these shifts is to witness nature speaking in gentle, flowing verses. Spring begins with a whisper. Tiny buds form along the branches, swelling slowly as the days warm. They do not burst open. They ease into being. The soft greens of new leaves appear like early lines in a fragile poem, tentative, tender, filled with quiet possibility. Sap rises within the tree in calm pulses, carrying nourishment upward in a slow, steady rhythm. Summer deepens the poem into fullness. The leaves broaden, creating layers of shade that stretch peacefully across the forest floor. Sunlight filters through the canopy in shifting patterns, illuminating bits of bark, moss, and drifting seeds. Everything moves at a relaxed pace, guided by heat, wind, and the quiet heartbeat of the season. The maple stands content, rooted in warmth and stability. Autumn arrives not with abruptness, but with gentle persuasion. Colors change as though brushed by a soft hand, greens turning to gold, gold to amber, amber deepening into warm reds. The transformation is slow, offering time to notice each shift. Leaves thin their connection to the branches, preparing for release in the same peaceful way they once grew. It is a season of letting go, rendered beautifully in light and motion. Winter completes the poem with stillness. The branches, now bare, express a quiet honesty, revealing the elegant structure beneath the leaves. Snow gathers softly along their length, turning the tree into a sculpture of white and gray. There is no rushing through this phase. The maple rests, waiting with patience for the gentle return of spring's opening lines. Each season blends into the next without sharp edges. There is no beginning that announces itself loudly, no ending that arrives with force. Everything shifts through ease, the same way thoughts drift into dreams. The maple invites us to read this seasonal poem slowly, allowing every line to settle, every pause to breathe. The poetry of the maple's year teaches a quiet truth: that change does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful, that letting go can be warm, that rest can be productive, that growth can be soft and continuous, arriving in small, almost imperceptible ways. As you imagine the maple moving through its seasons, budding, shading, glowing, resting, let your own thoughts follow this gentle flow. Feel how life can expand and contract naturally, without urgency. Feel how time can move like a calm river, shaping everything not through force, but through steady presence. In the maple's seasonal poetry, the world becomes tender, and within that tenderness, rest becomes easier to find. Growth in the world of the maple unfolds with a patience that feels almost like a lullaby. There is no sense of urgency in the way a maple tree extends its branches or deepens its roots. Everything happens at the pace nature chooses, slow, steady, grounded in calm necessity rather than ambition. To watch a maple grow is to witness a kind of quiet devotion to being. From the moment a maple seed settles into the soil, its journey begins gently. Moisture softens its outer shell, warmth coaxes it to open, and the smallest thread of root begins to reach downward. There is no pressure in this motion, only the simple response to the conditions that surround it. The seedling does not stretch impatiently toward the sky. It rests, it gathers, it unfurls itself when the world invites it to do so. As the young maple forms its first true leaves, they appear delicate yet confident, shaped by the slow rhythm of early growth. These leaves welcome light not in a grasping way, but in an open, receptive manner. They gather energy gradually, allowing the tree to build strength in soft increments. Each day brings only slight changes, barely noticeable from moment to moment, but unmistakable when viewed through the lens of seasons. A maple tree does not chase height. It rises steadily, guided by the relationship between soil, sun, and gentle rains. Its trunk thickens ring by ring, each layer forming with the soft persistence of time. Branches extend outward in balanced arcs, seeking space where light can rest upon them. Nothing is abrupt, nothing is forced. Growth feels more like unfolding than striving. Even when conditions are challenging, a dry spell, a cold spring, a shaded spot, the maple responds with graceful adjustment. It may slow its growth, conserve energy, or focus on strengthening what already exists. There is wisdom in this quiet moderation, a reminder that growth is not always about expansion. Sometimes it is about settling, waiting, and trusting the rhythm of the world. As the tree matures, its presence becomes one of calm assurance. It has expanded at a pace that allowed each part to adapt, to strengthen, to harmonize with everything around it. This kind of growth creates resilience not born from resistance, but from deep alignment with the environment. The maple stands tall because it grew slowly, methodically, peacefully, with no rush to reach any particular milestone. This gentle approach to growth carries a soft teaching for those who pause beneath its branches. Life does not always need to happen quickly. Strength does not always come from striving. Sometimes the most enduring progress is made by allowing things to unfold naturally, letting moments accumulate the way rings form quietly within the trunk. As you breathe in and feel your own body settle into stillness, imagine that your growth, your unfolding, is also allowed to be gentle. There is no need to hurry, no need to force. You too can grow the way a maple does, patiently, softly, in harmony with the subtle rhythms that guide you. Strength is often imagined as something loud or forceful, something that pushes, resists, or stands firm against the world. But the maple tree offers a gentler understanding, one that unfolds quietly in ways that can be felt rather than seen. Its strength is not a declaration. It is a steady presence built through patience, flexibility, and the soft willingness to move with the world instead of against it. Watch a maple branch in the wind, and you will see this clearly. It does not brace or resist. It sways. It bends with the breeze, adjusting its arc so smoothly that the motion feels like a slow breath. Even in the stronger winds of seasonal change, the maple's branches rarely strain. Their supple nature allows them to move freely, absorbing the motion rather than fighting it. This is the essence of quiet strength, the ability to remain whole by staying soft. The maple's roots share this silent resilience. They extend calmly into the soil, seeking nourishment in a patient, steady way. They do not claw or force their way through the earth. They find paths that open naturally, weaving through stones and pockets of soil with unhurried curiosity. Their strength comes not from dominance, but from persistence. Small movements made over long spans of time, creating stability that feels deep and dependable. Even the trunk, solid and grounded, carries this softness. Its rings do not form through sudden bursts of effort. They accumulate slowly, each one shaped by the seasons that came before it. Drought years create narrower rings, wet years wider ones, yet none of these cycles diminish the tree. Every variation becomes part of its quiet foundation, a gentle layering of experience that supports the branches above. In this way, the maple shows us that strength is not rigid. It is adaptable. It is shaped by moments of giving way, of shifting, of allowing rather than forcing. Its resilience is woven through years of calm responses to the world, sunlight filtered through leaves, rain absorbed into roots, wind carried along branches, nothing disrupts its deeper tranquility. Humans often carry the idea that strength must be visible or assertive, but beneath the maple, one can sense another truth, that strength can be quiet, that endurance can be soft, that the gentlest beings often last the longest. The maple teaches this without speaking. It simply lives it through every season it welcomes, every leaf it grows and releases, every breeze it accepts without tension. Imagine yourself standing beneath such a tree, leaning lightly against its trunk. Feel how it supports you not through hardness, but through calm presence. Let that presence sink into your breath, into your thoughts, into the soft places within you that sometimes forget they are strong. Strength does not always arrive with intensity. Sometimes it arrives like a leaf unfolding, like a branch swaying, like a root finding its path slowly through the earth, quiet, enduring, and deeply peaceful. As summer leans softly into autumn, the maple tree undergoes one of nature's most graceful transformations. Its leaves, once deeply green and filled with the warmth of sunlight, begin to shift into hues of gold, amber, and tender red. This change does not arrive abruptly. It unfolds gradually, guided by light itself, light that has traveled across the sky all year, and now, in the gentle decline of the season, lengthens and softens. During the bright months, the maple's green pigment gathers sunlight with calm consistency. This green, held gently within each leaf, allows the tree to drink in energy from warm days. But as daylight begins to shorten, the leaves adjust with quiet intuition. They begin to rest, easing back on their work, preparing for the peaceful pause of winter. When the sun lowers earlier each afternoon, its rays become softer, slanting through the forest in warm streaks. This shifting light gently reveals colors that have been resting in the leaves all along, pigments of yellow, orange, and red that waited patiently beneath the green. The maple does not force this transformation. It simply allows the light to guide it, responding with the same unhurried grace that marks its entire life. As the days continue their slow shortening, each leaf becomes a small lantern of color. Some glow with pale gold, catching the soft light like tiny windows. Others deepen into rich ambers that warm the air around them. Still others blush into reds that resemble the final embers of a comforting fire. These colors do not compete or overwhelm. They coexist gently, creating a tapestry of hues that feels both vibrant and calm. The forest, bathed in this slow radiance, becomes a place of delicate transitions. Light passes through the leaves in warm filters, turning branches into pathways of glowing tones. Even the shadows feel softened, their edges blurred by the richness of the colors above. Walking beneath a maple during this time feels like stepping through a quietly shifting sunrise, repeated moment by moment as leaves respond to the light. Eventually, the transformation reaches its fullest expression. The tree stands dressed in a palette that nature has chosen through thousands of subtle cues: temperature, sunlight, time, and the leaf's own gentle readiness. And when the moment comes for the leaves to release, they fall in slow spirals, carrying their colors with them to the earth. What makes this transformation so soothing is its lack of hurry. The maple never rushes to change. It never clings to the moment or tries to delay what comes naturally. It simply follows the light, accepting its warmth, then its gentleness, then its fading, all with the same steady surrender. As you imagine the maple glowing with autumn hues, let yourself feel how light guides the timing of everything: plant, season, breath, thought. Allow your own inner colors to soften, deepen, and settle the same way the maples do, gradually, tenderly, led by the quiet rhythm of the world around you. A maple forest is not a collection of separate beings, but a woven tapestry, each tree, plant, and creature participating in a gentle choreography that unfolds across seasons. Nothing in this landscape acts alone. Everything contributes in soft, almost invisible ways, creating a harmony that feels both ancient and endlessly renewing. This quiet cooperation is part of what gives the forest its deep sense of peace. The maple stands as one thread in this tapestry, offering shade, nourishment, and shelter without intention or effort. Its leaves filter sunlight into cool patterns that protect delicate plants below. Its fallen leaves enrich the soil, becoming food for countless small organisms. Its branches cradle bird nests, sheltering them from rain and soft breezes. Each part of the maple joins the rhythm of the land, blending seamlessly with everything around it. Beneath the soil, roots interlace like intertwined hands, carrying moisture and minerals from one place to another. These exchanges happen slowly, in pulses so gentle that they feel like the forest's own heartbeat. Fungi connect the roots of neighboring trees, allowing nutrients to be shared with saplings or older trunks that need support. Nothing demands attention, nothing rushes. It is a world held together by quiet generosity. Nearby plants also play their roles. Ferns spread out beneath the shade, cooling the ground and reducing evaporation. Wildflowers add softness to the forest floor, drawing pollinators that, in turn, help the maples and other trees thrive. Moss holds moisture like a tiny sponge, comforting the soil through dry spells. Each life, large or small, contributes something steady, something gentle. Animals, too, are part of this soft collaboration. A squirrel burying seeds may unknowingly plant a future tree. A bird carrying nutrients from distant places enriches the soil where it perches. Insects tend the forest floor, turning fallen leaves into fertile earth. Even the wind participates, carrying pollen and guiding seeds in slow spirals through the air. What makes this cooperation so calming is its lack of tension. No part of the forest rushes or competes. Everything moves with the quiet understanding that life thrives when it follows the soft patterns of the land. The maple does not grow at the expense of its neighbors. It grows with them, expanding when the space allows, resting when the season asks, offering presence more than dominance. To stand in the middle of such a landscape is to feel held by something ancient and wise. The forest does not speak in words, yet it expresses a simple truth, that harmony is not built on control, but on coexistence. That strength does not require struggle, only balance. That beauty can arise from countless gentle contributions, working together in a way that feels almost effortless. As you imagine this living network, roots sharing nourishment, leaves creating light, creatures moving softly through the trees, let yourself feel part of this slow cooperation. Let your breath join the rhythm of the land. Let any heaviness ease into the forest floor. There is room for everything here, held gently by the calm intelligence of nature. In the quiet world of the maple forest, belonging is not something earned or proven. It is something that arises naturally, the way sunlight finds its way through leaves or the way roots settle into the soil. Every being here, tree, fern, bird, moss, breeze, holds a place without question. Nothing tries to be anything other than what it is. And in this gentle acceptance, the forest teaches a soft and timeless lesson. A maple tree belongs because it grows where its seed once drifted. It belongs because the soil welcomed its roots, because the rain nourished its tender shoots, because the seasons shaped its trunk and branches. There is no striving in this belonging, only a quiet unfolding, layer by layer, ring by ring, into a place that has become home simply through presence. Nearby plants belong through the roles they play. Ferns cooling the forest floor, wildflowers brightening the understory, moss softening the base of trunks. None of them compete for worth. They take the space that suits their nature, and in doing so, they contribute to the landscape's harmony. The animals belong as well. Birds who visit the maple's branches bring seeds from distant places, adding new life to the soil. Squirrels nestle into the crooks of limbs, trusting the tree to hold them gently. Insects weave delicate pathways through the bark, participating in the forest's quiet maintenance. All move with ease, as though the forest has always had room for them. Even the fallen leaves belong. Though their time on the branch has ended, their new purpose is just beginning. They rest on the ground, forming a soft layer that protects the earth from harsh temperatures. Slowly, they become nourishment for the roots that once supported them. In this cycle, nature shows that belonging continues even after change, even after letting go. The maple leaf, now a national symbol, carries this sense of belonging far beyond the forest. It represents not just a tree, but the gentle truth that home can be found in many forms, in landscapes, in communities, in quiet moments of connection. Its familiar shape reminds people of the calm endurance of the land, the steady presence of the seasons, and the comfort of knowing that there is a place in the world where one fits simply by existing. To belong, the forest suggests, is not to match a pattern or meet a standard. It is to be part of a rhythm, slow, natural, unforced. Just as the maple embraces its space in the forest, every life can find its space in the world, expanding and resting in its own gentle way. As you sit with this thought, imagine yourself settling into the forest floor, leaning lightly against a sturdy trunk. Feel the ease of being held, the way the earth supports you without asking anything in return. Belonging, like the maple leaf, is quiet. It is warm. It is already within you, waiting to be recognized. As the journey through the maple's world begins to settle, the forest grows quieter, as though it is inviting us to return to the question that first drifted into the evening air. What makes a single leaf worthy of representing an entire land? This question, once bright with curiosity, now feels softer, wrapped in everything we have seen, felt, and gently understood along the way. The forest around us shifts into a calmer rhythm. Light dims into a delicate shade of blue. Shadows lengthen into soft shapes, and the air cools with the coming of evening. Each maple tree seems to breathe a little more slowly, its branches resting after a long day of holding sunlight, wind, birds, and quiet stories. In this peaceful stillness, the question settles comfortably, no longer seeking an answer, but inviting reflection. We have walked among leaves that remember seasons, roots that weave through earth in patient cooperation, branches that hold birds in calm embrace, and colors that change with tender acceptance. We have seen how the maple stands not in defiance, but in quiet partnership with the landscape, weathering winters, welcoming springs, shading summers, and glowing through autumns. The question beneath the leaves is no longer something to solve. It has softened into a gentle wondering, shaped by all these observations. Perhaps a leaf becomes a symbol not because of power, but because of presence. Not because it demands recognition, but because it offers comfort. Not because it stands above the land, but because it stands within it so peacefully. The forest seems to agree. A faint breeze moves through the branches, causing a few late leaves to sway with the ease of someone drifting toward sleep. If a leaf falls now, it does so in a slow spiral, making no sound as it touches the earth. The maple does not rush to answer anything. It simply continues being itself, steady and calm, a living form of quiet wisdom. As the twilight deepens, the landscape becomes more muted, more dreamlike. The trees blend into the dimming sky, and the details of the forest begin to soften, just as thoughts soften before sleep. The question that opened this journey now feels like a gentle companion rather than something separate from us. It rests lightly in the mind, carried by the same calm motion that guides the maple's leaves through the seasons. Perhaps the leaf became a symbol because it reflects the kind of strength people wish to hold within themselves. Strength that bends and sways but remains grounded. Strength that grows slowly and generously. Strength that stands quietly through every change. Let the question stay with you, not as a puzzle, but as a soft place to rest your thoughts. It has guided us far enough, and now it can settle like a leaf resting on the forest floor, peacefully, gently, without needing anything more. As night deepens around the maple forest, the maple leaf itself begins to feel less like an object and more like a quiet presence, something shaped not by hands or decisions, but by centuries of gentle stillness. It has become a symbol almost by accident, by simply existing season after season in the calm companionship of those who lived beside it. In the quiet dim of evening, you can sense how the leaf's meaning came not from moments of urgency, but from the slow layering of daily familiarity. Families resting in its shade, travelers pausing under its branches, children holding a leaf and tracing the soft points with their fingers, communities gathering sap in early spring, warmed by sweetness carried within the tree. Over time, these small moments formed a tender connection between people and the maple, not rushed, not declared, simply felt. The leaf became a symbol the same way dawn becomes morning, gradually, without force. Its balanced shape felt reassuring. Its colors softened the landscape. Its quiet presence echoed the temperament of the land itself, peaceful, steady, welcoming. The maple did not ask to be chosen. The leaf did not strive to represent anything. Yet both carried a gentleness that people recognized within themselves. Even now, as the maple leaf rests on the Canadian flag, it still holds the softness of the forest. It represents not the roar of history, but the hush of it, the deep calm found between rivers, mountains, and broad expanses of quiet land. It holds the memory of snow resting lightly on branches, of winds moving slowly across prairies, of long seasons spent in patient cycles of growth and release. In the stillness of the evening forest, The maple's silhouette looks almost like the emblem brought to life. Its branches fan outward in a gentle pattern, mirroring the familiar shape. But standing beneath it, you feel a difference. The living leaf carries warmth, breath, memory. It reminds you that the emblem comes not from authority, but from nature's quiet gift. One that people simply noticed, appreciated, and gently adopted. A symbol shaped by stillness is not rigid. It does not carry sharpness or urgency. It invites reflection rather than reaction, calm rather than noise. The maple leaf, in its real and physical form, continues to embody this softness. Even in darkness, when its colors fade and its details blur, its presence feels grounding, like a deep breath or a long-held memory. As the night wraps itself around the maple trees, imagine the leaf glowing faintly with the day's warmth. Imagine it resting softly in your mind, offering the same gentle assurance it has offered generations, that home can be found in quiet places, that identity can be shaped by calm presence, that a symbol can come from stillness and remain still. Let that stillness settle into your breath now, into your shoulders, into the spaces of your mind that welcome rest. The maple leaf continues to speak in the only way it knows, through peaceful endurance and through the quiet comfort it has carried across centuries. As night settles more deeply into the maple forest, the air begins to move in a softer, slower way, almost as if the entire woodland is taking one long, peaceful breath. The wind that carried stories through the branches all day now drifts with quiet intention, brushing gently against trunks and leaves that have grown still. Even the smallest sounds, those faint rustles, those distant murmurs, take on a tender, rhythmic quality, like the slow exhale that comes right before sleep. In this deepening calm, the maples seem to lean slightly into the night. Their branches, which stretched outward to greet the sunlight, now feel content to rest in the darkness. Leaves that shimmered in the afternoon glow now settle into soft silhouettes, blending with the shadows in an easy, unhurried way. Nothing pushes, nothing resists. The forest simply exhales, releasing the day with graceful acceptance. The air itself feels different, cooler, quieter, carrying the faint scent of bark warmed earlier by the sun, mixed with the delicate freshness of evening dew forming on leaves. Each breath you take in this place feels smoother, more spacious, as though the forest is lending its calm directly to your body. Your chest rises gently with the inhale, and with the exhale, tension softens like mist fading into the night. Listen closely, and you might notice how the usual daytime rustle of squirrels, insects, and birds is replaced by a slower soundtrack, the soft sway of branches, a leaf drifting quietly to the ground, the distant hum of a night breeze sliding through the canopy. It is not silence, it is the forest settling, each sound spaced out with care, leaving room for rest to fill the spaces between. The maple trunks, strong and steady, hold the last remnants of warmth from the setting sun. If you leaned your back against one now, you would feel the comforting solidity of centuries, the quiet support of roots that reach deep into the earth, the subtle rise and fall of the tree's response to wind. Here, leaning against this calm giant, you might feel your own breath fall into rhythm with the forest's slow exhale. The forest exhales not as a single moment, but as a process, a gradual release that unfolds over minutes, then hours. Shadows spread across the ground, light fades into muted tones, the world narrows into soft outlines and gentle contrasts. As everything becomes simpler, the mind begins to simplify as well. Thoughts grow less tangled. Emotions settle into quieter forms. This shared exhale between you and the forest becomes a bridge into deeper rest. It reminds you that the body knows how to release, just as trees know how to sway, just as winds know how to calm. There is no effort needed, only trust in the slow, natural rhythm of letting go. As you breathe out once more, imagine the entire landscape breathing with you. A forest easing into night, a world leaning into quiet, a maple tree standing steady as the air drifts softly around it. As night deepens into its gentlest hours, the maple forest begins to resemble something almost dreamlike. A quiet nation of leaves, each one resting in silence, each one holding a small piece of the land's story. Seen from above, the treetops form soft, rounded shapes, blending into the darkness like a vast, peaceful ocean. From within the forest, the leaves appear as small points of shadow, loosely connected, breathing together in the cool night air. In this stillness, the idea of the maple leaf as a symbol grows clearer, not in the way a flag is raised or a decision is made, but in the way familiarity settles into the heart. A leaf becomes a symbol because people recognize themselves in it. They sense the quiet strength, the beauty of change, the comfort of returning seasons, the peaceful endurance that carries through every moment of the year. Under the moonlight, each leaf seems to glow with the memory of sunlight it held earlier in the day. The brightest reds soften into deep maroons. The warm golds become gentle amber. Even the greens appear tender in the dimness, like echoes of summer warmth. Together, these leaves, still, calm, unhurried, form a landscape of quiet unity. The maple forest feels like a gathering of individuals who belong to the same slow, gentle rhythm. Each leaf moves only when the wind invites it. Each branch rests without expectation. Each tree stands in silent companionship with its neighbors, sharing the same soil, the same air, the same long history of seasons. This is a nation not defined by boundaries, but by presence. Not by declaration, but by harmony. If you walk slowly among the trunks now, the night offers a profound sense of belonging, not to a place marked on a map, but to a feeling shaped over centuries. The maple leaf, carried on the Canadian flag, carries this feeling too. It reminds people of wide open spaces, of forests filled with softness, of rivers gliding calmly through valleys, of winters that ask for patience, of springs that offer renewal. The leaf symbolizes a land not through force, but through familiarity. It represents a home that grows gently around those who live within it, a place where nature speaks in quiet tones, where resilience is found in stillness, and where identity is woven not from noise, but from subtle moments. Light passing through leaves, snow resting softly on branches, wind humming through treetops. Standing here in the heart of the forest, the emblem on the flag feels less like a design and more like a memory. A memory of trees holding their shape against the sky, a memory of leaves drifting slowly to the ground, a memory of a land that moves at a pace that invites rest. As you let this thought settle, imagine yourself as one leaf in this quiet nation, resting, supported, held softly by the night. The forest around you breathes in slow harmony, guiding your own breath toward the peaceful stillness of sleep. Night has taken full shape in the maple forest, not as a blanket dropped suddenly from the sky, but as a slow descent of calm settling gently over every branch, every leaf, every resting creature. The world that surrounded you in soft color now blends into gentle shades of blue and silver. The edges of things grow rounder, quieter, as though the land itself is exhaling into sleep. The trees stand peacefully in the dimness, their silhouettes steady and familiar. Each maple holds the night with ease, neither resisting nor yielding, simply existing in a calm balance that has guided their lives through countless seasons. Their branches, now motionless, seem to cradle the darkness the way they once cradled the light. Nothing is expected of them in this hour. Nothing is asked. They rest in dignified stillness, offering that same stillness to you. A soft hush spreads across the forest floor. The faint sounds of day, birds calling, leaves fluttering, distant streams murmuring, have settled into a quieter rhythm. Now, only the gentlest noises remain, a single leaf shifting in the breeze, a subtle creak of wood adjusting to cooler air, perhaps even your own breath, slow and deep, blending into the night's soft cadence. Above you, the sky drapes itself between the branches in a deep, velvety blue. Where the maple leaves part, stars appear in small clusters, shimmering like tiny lanterns suspended far beyond reach. Their light is faint but comforting, a reminder that the world extends gently upward, even as everything around you becomes still. The air cools with a softness that invites release. Each inhalation feels like drawing in the quiet of the forest. Each exhalation feels like letting go of anything that didn't need to be carried into the night. Your body, like the forest, begins to shift into rest, slowly, naturally, without effort. There is a tender sense of safety here. The maples stand like guardians of calm, their roots deep, their trunks grounded, their branches forming a serene canopy overhead. They have endured storms, winters, summers, and countless cycles of change, yet in this moment, they hold only peace. And as you breathe beneath them, you are gently invited to share in that enduring calm. The forest does not ask you to stay alert. It does not ask you to ponder or remember. It asks nothing at all. It simply offers a place where stillness can settle, where thoughts can drift like leaves in slow spirals, where tiredness can melt into the quiet earth below. Let the night gather around you like a soft cloak. Let the maples stand watch as the world shrinks to this simple, peaceful moment. Let every breath deepen the sense that you are part of a gently sleeping landscape, unrushed, unburdened, held softly by the wild. Everything grows quiet around you now, and in that quiet, rest begins to bloom. As the forest settles into its deepest quiet, your own thoughts begin to soften, loosening their edges the same way a leaf loosens its hold on a branch when autumn has fully arrived. There is no need to organize anything now, no need to hold on to any shape or direction. Everything drifts gently, the way mist moves through the trees, slowly, tenderly, with plenty of space between each motion. The maples around you stand completely still in the darkness. Their branches no longer stir. Their leaves rest without even a flutter, and the shadows they cast blend softly into the cool night air. This stillness invites your mind to follow suit. Thoughts that were once busy now stretch out, slowing into long, peaceful lines. They begin to wander like seeds caught on a gentle breeze, floating without urgency, simply moving wherever the quiet leads them. If a thought appears, it does so lightly. It rises like a faint glow behind the branches, soft, harmless, almost transparent. It neither demands attention nor fades too quickly. It lingers just long enough to be noticed, then drifts on, dissolving into the calm around you. Another thought may follow, even fainter, like a leaf descending through the air in slow spirals. And then another, quieter still, until the very idea of thinking feels like a gentle rocking motion guiding you further into rest. The night air deepens with each breath you take, cool, soothing, unhurried. It fills your lungs with quiet, then leaves with just as much grace, as though the forest itself is lending you its rhythm. Your body responds naturally, muscles releasing, shoulders sinking, breath lengthening. You become aware not of tension, but of the absence of it, as though the night has unwound each thread of worry one by one. Somewhere far above, a single star glimmers through an opening in the canopy. Its light is small but steady, a distant reminder that the world beyond the forest is vast and calm. You do not need to follow it. You only need to know it is there, watching over the gentle landscape like a quiet guardian of the sky. Around you, everything has slowed. The drifting of cool air, the distant hush of nighttime insects, the soft settling of the forest floor beneath your body. All movement has fallen into an easy, dreamlike pace. Time itself seems to drift, turning minutes into something broader and softer, like wide pools of still water in the dark. Your thoughts, now almost weightless, glide through this space without form. They become motion rather than meaning, texture rather than words, and eventually, even that motion grows faint, as though each thought is choosing to rest on the forest floor beside the fallen leaves, warm and quiet. Let yourself drift with them. Let the forest hold what you no longer need to think about. Let your mind become as soft and open as the night around you. This is the slow drift of thought, a gentle surrender, a peaceful descent into deeper rest. As the night settles into its softest hours, the maple trees stand as gentle guardians of the quiet landscape. Their trunks rise like calm pillars in the moonlit darkness, and their branches create a delicate web of shelter overhead. The forest has long since fallen asleep, yet the maples remain steady, offering a presence that feels protective without being imposing, watchful without ever disturbing the peace. In the darkness, the maple's silhouette appears softened, its edges blending gently with the night sky. What was once a vivid tapestry of colors and shapes in daylight now becomes a tender outline, easy on the eyes, easy on the mind. Its stillness encourages your own stillness. Its quiet strength encourages your own release. There's nothing to fear beneath a tree that has weathered centuries of nights just like this one. Even in silence, the maple participates in the nighttime rhythm. A faint shimmer of moonlight touches the branches, creating soft glints where leaves once hung. The bark holds a subtle warmth from the day, radiating it back into the cool air like the last glow of embers fading in a hearth. Everything the tree does now is gentle, its breathing, its grounding, its enduring presence. If you listen closely, you might imagine the faint pulse of sap resting deep within the trunk, slowed by night and temperature. This movement is not loud enough to hear, yet the knowledge of it brings comfort. Even in stillness, the maple is alive, steady, continuing its quiet work of simply being. The forest does not need activity to feel alive. It breathes through calmness as much as through growth. Occasionally, a soft sound drifts through the night, a small shift of roots settling into the earth, the delicate fall of a twig, the distant rustle of a nocturnal creature moving on padded feet. These sounds do not disturb the quiet. They enrich it, adding texture to the darkness in the same way soft brushstrokes add depth to a painting. Under the maple's night watch, the world feels held. There is time to rest, time to breathe, time to be without expectation. The tree's presence suggests that rest is not something to earn, but something that grows naturally in the right environment, just as leaves grow naturally in spring and release in autumn. As you imagine yourself leaning back against the trunk, the forest wraps around you like a warm blanket. The tree's stability becomes your stability. Its slowness becomes your slowness. You feel your breath fall into rhythm with the quiet pulse of the night, with the gentle continuity of the maple's life unfolding around you. You are safe here. You are welcome here. The maple's long-standing patience becomes a shelter, a soft canopy under which your mind can loosen and your body can sink deeper into rest. Let the night hold you as the maple does, without effort, without expectation, simply and peacefully. In the quietest hour of the night, when even the wind has settled into a slow, wandering hush, the forest reveals a kind of calm that can only be felt, not seen, not measured, but sensed in the stillness that surrounds everything. The darkness here is not heavy. It is gentle, like velvet laid softly over the landscape, smoothing the edges of each tree, each rock, each drifting thought. The maple trees stand gracefully in this dimness, their trunks steady and their branches resting in perfect ease. Without daylight, they seem to lean into the night, becoming part of its softness. Their presence is no longer defined by color or texture, but by shape and quiet intention. Tall forms that watch over the earth without needing to move or speak. The night holds them the way water holds a floating leaf, effortlessly, tenderly, supporting without altering their form. It drapes itself around their branches, fills the space between leaves and bark, and settles gently at the roots. In this embrace, the trees appear almost weightless, as though the darkness has softened gravity itself. Every sound that exists now is wrapped in distance. A faint shift of earth beneath roots, a soft sigh of air moving through high branches, a single note from an unseen night bird. All of them emerge quietly, linger briefly, and dissolve back into the calm. Nothing disturbs the stillness. Everything contributes to it. The maple forest becomes a sanctuary for rest, a place where the night does not deepen into mystery, but into comfort. There is no urgency here, no expectation. Even time seems to loosen its hold, stretching into long, slow moments that pass like drifting clouds you can barely feel moving. You may imagine yourself lying at the base of one of these quiet giants, the earth cool beneath you, the trunk a steady presence at your back. The night folds around you gently, creating a cocoon of silence. Your breath becomes slower, deeper, matching the forest's rhythm. Each inhale draws in the cool calm of the night. Each exhale releases whatever remains tense or tired. The soft way the night holds, the trees begins to hold you too. Your thoughts become lighter, like leaves suspended in the air before they settle. Your body loosens, your mind settles, and the world around you narrows into this single feeling. being safely enveloped in quiet. Above, the sky shifts with the faint glow of distant stars, barely visible through the branches. Their subtle shimmer hints at movement, but not enough to disturb the darkness. It is a reminder that even in deep rest, the universe continues its own slow rhythm, steady, patient, gentle. Let the night cradle you the way it cradles the forest. Let the maples stand watch, tall and kind. Let everything around you soften until only calm remains. Here, under the softened sky, rest begins to become sleep. The night has grown so calm now that it feels almost suspended in time. The maple forest rests in complete stillness, wrapped in a softness that seems to breathe from the ground itself. Nothing stirs unless it must. Nothing moves unless the night gently invites it. This is the hour when the world feels closest to dreams, when the boundary between waking and sleeping dissolves into something smooth, warm, and endlessly quiet. The maples stand like silhouettes carved from moonlight, their branches stretching upward with quiet grace. Each tree carries the memory of its seasons, the warmth of summer sun, the cool drift of autumn winds, the patient endurance of winter, the gradual unfurling of spring. All of these moments lie within the tree, layered and peaceful, like soft rings of time that never hurry, never fade. You feel this steadiness around you now. The air has the cool, comforting weight of deep night. The earth beneath you feels solid, familiar, kind. Your breath has slowed to match the forest's rhythm. Long inhales filled with quiet, long exhales that drift away like mist. Thoughts dissolve before they take shape. Only calm remains. Above you, the sky is vast and gentle. A few stars shimmer through the branches, their faint light falling softly on the forest floor. Nothing is sharp. Nothing is bright. Everything is muted into a tender glow that soothes rather than awakens. It is the kind of night sky that asks nothing of you except to rest. And the maple leaf, this quiet symbol that guided the entire journey, feels different now. No longer a question, no longer a story to follow. It becomes simply a feeling, a warm, steady presence in the mind, a reminder of cycles that turn without force, of strength that grows without noise, of belonging that forms without effort. The forest drifts deeper into quiet. So do you. If a breeze moves, it moves slowly. If a leaf falls, it falls silently. If the earth shifts, it does so with the soft patience of something that has existed for centuries and will continue for centuries more. You are a guest in this stillness, but you are also part of it, breathing in harmony with every rooted, resting thing. Let yourself melt into this moment. Let the weight of the day slip gently away, like a leaf loosening from its branch in autumn. Let every part of you settle into the soft cradle the night has made. Here, under a sky that holds the forest the way a lullaby holds a drifting mind, sleep is not something to find. It is something already waiting, already forming, already gathering around you like cool air around the maple trunks. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more must be done. Only rest, only quiet, only the slow, peaceful flow of the wild. And as the forest settles fully, as your breath softens into night, the final lines of sleepy nature sleep arrive like a whisper carried on maple leaves. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion,